Hey guys, James here from 5-Star Rating 22. Sorry I haven't done a vid in a long time, guys. It's been really busy and stuff, but I've got one here. Changed the camera angle. It's a little bit more difficult to see, so I would suggest switching it to full screen in HD to get a closer view, but this just makes it easier and quicker for me to be able to continue to paint and make a video. I'll try to explain myself the best I can. I had a little bit of a head start here that I didn't catch on video camera. What I have here is Chaos Black, Intense Blue, Heavy Charcoal, and Dark Green, and I mixed those together, 2 parts of the Chaos Black, 1 part of the rest. Mixed those together, thinned them out real well, and sprayed them through the airbrush, and that's that first coat that you see, the primer, the base coat over the whole model that I did, and it gives it a little bit different color than just straight black. I also took Beastie Brown and thinner, mixed that together and did the leather parts, the base coat on that. That's all it is a base coat. I didn't have the camera on for that either. And then also Talon Flesh and Ghost Gray mixed 1-to-1, and I did the fingers. That's only flesh parts on this model, but I did that for the base coat on the flesh as well. So now we're caught back up. I'm using an artist, Winsor & Newton Artist Color 00 here, and Gunmetal from Vallejo Game Color, and thinning that out like I usually do with my metals, pretty well thinned out. And I'm going to do the base coat for all the for every metallic part that's going to be on this miniature, including any brass parts coming up. So I'm doing the belt buckle. There's studs on the belt, on the leather straps, the helmet. There's a couple silver parts on the shoulder pad that I did, and then also on the gun I'm doing, what you're seeing there is the blade, the underslung slung blade that's attached to the weaponry on the Reaver, and I'm just doing, it's about half of it. It's the same the way Games Workshop did, just the inner curved part of it. As you can see there, that it's it's about half of it, and it's just the edged part. So, and then also the in between the barrel and the base of where the underslung gun connects to the thing, there's a brass, what's going to be a brass part in there. It's kind of like a oval shaped. Underneath here is kind of like what I would guess would be like the radiator or the air intake on the bike. I did that in silver. Again, the blade vanes, the back half of them, those were started, about half of them in silver. And again, this is copying the picture off of Games Workshop. I'm doing the same color scheme that they're doing for their Kabal, the Black Heart. So, but this is just kind of off of looking and guessing. So some parts might not be exactly on, but as close as I can get them to it. And we'll see at the end. I'll show you how close I can get. It's my first Reaver that I've done, so we'll see how close I get. So there I'm doing the ribbing. I did the foot pegs as well as the handlebars that that are on the bike as well. And then I'm doing here, I did there's also like 2 back handles on the top, kind of by that one blade vane, as you can see there. And then there's 2 gems on the side too, kind of off of the blade wings that I did in the gunmetal as well. Now I'm taking, this is Tinny Tin and Brassy Brass, both from Game Color, about 1-to-1, thinning them out, and this is going to be my base color for my brass parts now. I do the gunmetal underneath because it makes it easier for the next layer of metallic to go on there. It gives it a good base coat to go on instead of going straight onto the black. So, and when it's thinned out, nice and thinned out, it really isn't going to make that much of a difference. So, I did the kind of the jet propulsion or the bike propulsion system in the back there. That's done in the brass. The 2 handles you can see there, kind of on the bottom of the screen. The gems, those 2 gems I was talking about. Also the what I said before, like the air intake on the bike on the bottom there. The outer part of that's being done up in the brass, as you can see there. And then also the ribbing, or what I'm calling the ribbing of the bike, that's also being done up in a base coat of the brass there as well, or the brass mixture I should say. The 1-to-1 tinny bits to brassy brass, as you can see there, so you can see. And then, also in between on the underslung weapon here, that part I was talking about before is also being done up in the brass. And then on the holster of the weapon on the driver's right side there, there's like an over casing. I'm doing that also in the brass. So you can kind of see there the parts that got done up in the brass on the actual bike part of it. And then on this here, like I said, the kind of the casing on the holster there, and then the top of the grenades, and then that inner part there as well on the weapon, on the Reaver, on the bike's main weapon. Now I'm taking Mechrite Red and Chaos Black, both from Games Workshop. The Mechrite Red is a foundation paint, so it's a higher pigmented paint. I'm separating that into 2 spots, and the reason I'm doing that is I'm now going to mix in Chaos Black about 1:1 in one of the puddles there. Mix it up, and then whatever the residual paint that's left on the brush, add that into the second pot, or into the second spot. So I get a darker red and a lighter red. And I'm going to start working on the leather or the seating of the bike. So you can see there that I kind of just went around for the first coat with the darker color, going around about probably about 2.5 brush widths. As you can see there, I just went around the outer edges of the segments of the seat, and then I'm going back in now with the little bit lighter red, and I'm going to again go around all the seat segments just a little bit less, leaving some of the prior highlight to the seat, or the prior seat color to the seat. As you can see there, and for like the innermost parts of the seats, I'm just using that base color that I sprayed on as the color for it, and I will blend that all together at the end, or try to kind of tone it together. So there you can see that's what the 2 colors, the 2 highlights I added so far. Now I'm taking Scarlet Red, also from Vallejo Game Color, and using now my Insane Detail brush from Army Painter, and I'm going to go around and do the final highlight to the seating. And normally I do the highlighting after the wash phase, but I'm actually going to do a wash phase last on the leather seat. Now I'll show you why once we get to that phase. And I'm taking Scarlet Red now, and for most of the part, or any part that I can, I'm going to use the side of the brush and just go around the very edging, kind of just catching it on the lip there, and using the side of the brush to make it easier just to catch that edge. But on some parts there isn't, and you'll have to go in, kind of freehand style, but just try to use the tip of the brush and keep your motions as smooth as possible. Again, if you don't have to have your hand like a foot raised off the desk like I have here, steady it on the desk. It'll be a lot easier for you. But again, do it in, don't overload your brush. Keep your brush fairly thinned, or not as much paint into it, and just go over it in a couple coats. That's always better than trying to get it in one. So it'll look better, and it's easier. If you slop out or something like that, or you press too hard, you're not going to get a big old glob of paint that way either. Now I'm going to go to the wash stage, and I'm using a nice synthetic flat brush here. Probably at about a size, I guess, I don't know, probably a 1 flat or a 2 flat maybe. Let me see if I can see here. It's actually a 4. Wow, but I guess it doesn't matter. I just use the synthetic flat brush because it works well for me. This is Chaos Black that I'm doing here first, and I will go over all my actual silver metallic parts with this, doing a pretty nice heavy coat, like the spikes on the arms there, the helmet. But prior to that, I did the weapon you've seen there, and again, making sure to concentrate on like the edges, the part where the metal connects to the other parts of the armor, making sure that there's enough the Chaos Black wash in there, just to make sure that it's properly shaded. And again, we'll go on top of this then, and then highlight later on. But doing the wash also on the canisters there, the little belt buckles, using like the point or the side of the brush when it's in a smaller spot, so I'm not depositing too much of the wash. But again, with the wash, it's fairly easy, kind of foolproof. Doing the handlebars, like I said, again, any of the metallic parts. Now, like on these blade veins, you'll kind of see that I did them in a kind of sideways motion. That kind of keeps it looking like it's swiped, or almost like when they grind it down to sharpen it, that it's grinded in one direction, like a person would do when they're sharpening a bigger blade, like for a lawnmower or a tractor or something like that. Now what I took here was actually it was ochre and flesh first, and I did I did a thick coat onto the fingers there, and then I took Leviathan purple, both from Games Workshop's wash line, and did that right on top of the ochre and flesh while it was still wet. And this will help out since these are dark Eldar. I like to have them paler, and with having that purple kind of mixed into that ochre and flesh, it helps it out, make them look a little bit less tan. To me, a little bit more paler in the end. Now I'm taking Devlin Mud, also from Games Workshop's wash line, and I'm going to do all the brass parts in this in a nice heavy coat. And I actually, on some of the parts, if they don't seem dark enough to me, I'll come back and do a thinner wash, just concentrating more on the more shaded areas, or the parts that need the shading a little bit more. Over the top part of the holster, and then actually the holster itself, the leather parts. I do in Devlin Mud as well. Any of the leather parts I did in the Devlin Mud. The ribbing, as you can see here, making sure to use the side of the brush as well to make sure that it gets down in between the ribbing, so it shades the brass on the inside. Because I'm also using it to darken up the brass color a bit as well overall. So there you can see with the brass, the Devlin Mud wash laid on, how heavy I lay it on. It's pretty thick, making sure to get everything and overall dull down the color as well. So as the last thing here, it's the Gryphon Sepia, also from Games Workshop's wash line. I'm actually going to go and just do a wash right over the whole bike seat cover, and that's going to try to help blend everything in, smooth everything in, and then actually give a little bit of a brownish hue to the red there, because that's kind of how I seen it from the Games Workshop models as well. And it's got a little bit of a red hue to it anyways, the Gryphonia Sepia, so I think it'll work out alright. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for now. We'll come back in the next part and start doing the highlighting on the metallics and stuff like that, and then we'll get into some of the more fun stuff as well. And as you can see there, I actually went back in there afterwards and did some more washing. But that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. Love y'all.